Since the time of ancient civilizations, there has been a fascination with the brightest star in the night sky. Sirius, or Canis Major, what is often referred to as the dog star, has a history that goes back thousands of years. Our great philosophers and poets had their obsessions with the star. In Greece, for example, legends of men being transformed into wolves as part of a ceremony were common throughout antiquity. Locals in the Peloponnese region known as Arcadia recalled how King Lycaon, the fabled founder of their civilization, had instituted a sacrifice to the god Zeus. Lycaon sacrificed a person instead of an animal, and because of this, Zeus was furious. Zeus changed Lycaon into a wolf. Of course, fitting, because Lycaon's name was derived from the Greek word wolf. The Arcadians said that after that, any time they made a sacrifice, someone was transformed into a wolf. In Arcadia, there appears to have been an initiation process in which young males were briefly transformed into wolves. The Greek poet Homer once said, "Old man Priam was the first to see him, all shining, as he rushed through the plain, like the star that comes in late summer, whose rays very brilliantly shine among the manifold of stars in the depth of night. They call him Orion's dog as a nickname. He is the brightest. But he has been fashioned as an evil sign, and he brings much fever to wretched mortals." That was how his bronze armor flashed around his chest as he ran. Homer says, "But he cannot escape Achilles, who pursues him like a hunting dog pursuing a fawn through the mountains." The Greek poet Herodotus, in his famous astronomical poem, The Phenomena, describes Canis Major as follows: "Just such is the guard that under his rising back appears, the dog who stands upon both paws, variegated, not conspicuous in all his parts. Instead, along his belly he rises dark, while the tip of his chin is marked by a terrible star, which most piercingly scorches. Humans call this Sirius." Sirius has fascinated humanity from the dawn of time. It has been speculated to affect the seasons as humanity has given this star divinity through our stories from our greatest of poets and scholars. What is Sirius? Is it truly divine in its identity as the dog star, or is there more to this story? Both science and myth has come to fruition the truth behind this celestial wonder. Sirius is a hypernova. Every galaxy in the universe has an average of 100 billion stars in it. Vast majority of stars are hard to see, but among these stars lay the hypergiants that are 20 to 40 times more massive than our own sun. These stars can be 3,600 times the diameter of our own sun and are the most luminous in the night sky. They are eating themselves as they consume fuel at an astronomical rate. Hypergiants release as much energy in 6 seconds as our own sun does in an entire year. Because of this excess in activity, their lifetimes are measured only in millions of years. In our galaxy, there are only around 10 known stars that are hypergiants. Among these stars is Canis Major. What we've discussed earlier in antiquity is Sirius. It's seriously a bright star. A red giant due to its huge mass loss that is burning over 3,800 light years away from our own solar system. The reason for the mass loss is yet to be completely understood, as it's most likely due to the instability on the exterior and interior of the star. These instabilities are the progenitor of what we call a supernova. Canis Major has already shed half of its mass and is in its final stages. If it exploded today, the blast would slam into its surrounding envelope of material with the velocity of a few thousand kilometers per second and would create a core collapse supernova. This happens when the interior of the star can no longer support it. The collapse is so intense at around 70,000 kilometers per second. And this collapse superheats the interior of the star, producing gamma rays that decompose its iron nuclei. This creates helium and free neutrons and nitrogenous. As the star collapses, electrons and protons are squeezed together, creating neutrons and more nitrogenous. Since nitrogenous rarely reacts in other forms of matter, they escape and accelerate the core, which triggers an explosion and creates a neutron star. Canis Major is so large that astronomers believe that when it dies, it may result in what's called a hypernova. And if this occurs, it will release deadly gamma rays that could affect nearby planets. This collapse is so powerful, nothing can stop it. And it would leave behind what we know as a black hole.